Breaking news. Collision BTS Jin says no to marriage ring and armies are the reason. Here's why face screaming in fear. The global music landscape is currently witnessing a moment of unprecedented anticipation as the year 2026 marks the full-scale return of the 21st century's most significant pop icons. BTS is back. Yet, amidst the fervor surrounding their upcoming historic comeback, a deeply personal narrative concerning the group's eldest member, Seokjin, has captured the collective consciousness of the fandom. The discourse has moved beyond music charts and ticket sales to touch upon the complex emotional contract between idols and their admirers. A recent revelation regarding Jin's staunch refusal to marry or date, purportedly out of an unwavering loyalty to his fans, has ignited a fierce debate about privacy, sacrifice, and the boundaries of parasocial relationships in the modern K-pop industry. This intense conversation was sparked not by an official press release or a scandalous tabloid photo, but through a candid conversation involving webtoon artist and entertainer Kian84. During a video segment on his YouTube channel featuring singer Chu, the discussion drifted toward the often unspoken and rigid expectations placed upon K-pop idols regarding their romantic lives. It was here that Kian84 offered a rare behind-the-scenes glimpse into the mindset of Jin, a man known to the world as worldwide handsome. According to the entertainer, Jin's public persona of being single is not merely a facade maintained for PR purposes, but a genuine lifestyle choice driven by a profound sense of duty. Kian84 disclosed that even when the cameras are off and the spotlight has dimmed, Jin maintains a strict personal policy of no dating and no marriage. The revelation provided by Kian84 suggests that Jin views his relationship with the ARMY not merely as a celebrity-fan dynamic, but as a bond that requires absolute exclusivity. When Kian84 reportedly asked the singer why he adhered to such strict self-imposed rules when so many others in the industry managed to date in secret, Jin's response was rooted in a philosophy of loyalty. He reportedly expressed that entering into a romantic relationship would be a betrayal of the millions of fans who support him. In Jin's view, maintaining his single status is a necessary act of faithfulness to those who have elevated him to his current stature. The entertainer noted that he had tried to argue with Jin, suggesting that many celebrities publicly deny relationships while privately enjoying them, but Jin shut down this line of thinking immediately. For the BTS member, the deception involved in a secret relationship was just as unacceptable as the relationship itself. He insisted that he could not live with that lack of transparency, choosing instead to remain solitary to honor his commitment to the fans. This insight into Jin's private resolve has triggered a massive and polarized reaction across social media platforms and fan communities. For a significant portion of the fandom, this news has been received with a mix of awe and heartbreak. These fans view Jin's decision as the ultimate sacrifice, a testament to a love for his supporters that supersedes his own personal happiness and biological milestones. Comments flooding the internet express gratitude and astonishment that a global superstar would forego the companionship of a partner and the prospect of a family solely to keep his promise to his admirers. To this group, Jin's solitude is a romanticized martyrdom, solidifying his position as an idol in the truest sense of the word, and figure of devotion who belongs to everyone and therefore to no one in particular. However, a counter-narrative has emerged with equal force. Many fans and observers have expressed discomfort with the nature of the revelation itself. They argue that the conversation between Jin and Kian84 was likely intended to be private, and that sharing such intimate details without the singer's direct consent constitutes a breach of trust. This faction of the ARMY emphasizes that idols are human beings first and entertainers second, deserving of privacy and the right to separate their professional obligations from their personal desires. The criticism here is directed less at Jin's choice and more at the societal pressure that makes him feel such a sacrifice is necessary. These fans have voiced deep concern that Jin might be denying himself fundamental human experiences like love and companionship out of a misplaced sense of guilt or obligation. They argue that true loyalty from fans should mean wanting the idol to be happy, regardless of his relationship status. The debate is further complicated by a third perspective that adopts a stance of unconditional support. These fans assert that whether Jin chooses to marry, date, or remain single for the rest of his life, it is his prerogative. Their primary message is one of autonomy. If Jin finds fulfillment in his dedication to the fans and prefers a life without romantic entanglements, they support him. Conversely, if he were to change his mind tomorrow, they pledge to support that decision as well. This group attempts to bridge the gap between the romanticists and the pragmatists, focusing on the agency of the artist rather than the implications of his choices. This swirling vortex of emotional discourse is happening against the backdrop of one of the most significant events in music history. The timing of this revelation is critical, as it coincides with the final preparations for BTS's first full group comeback in over 3 years. The industry is buzzing with the confirmation that the band is set to release their highly anticipated full-length album, titled Erarang, on March 20, 2026. The choice of title itself is evocative, referencing the most famous Korean folk song, a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage asset that symbolizes the soul of Korea. By adopting this name, the group seems to be signaling a return to their roots while simultaneously projecting their heritage onto the global stage they now dominate. The album is expected to address the themes of separation, reunion, and the enduring spirit of their journey, mirroring the very emotions their fans have navigated during the group's military hiatus. The release of Erarang will serve as the prelude to a monumental logistical feat. Shortly after the album drops, BTS will embark on a massive world tour that promises to shatter previous records. The tour is scheduled to cover 34 cities with a staggering 79 shows, a testament to the insatiable demand for their live performances. The grand opening of this global odyssey will take place at the Goyang Stadium on April 9, 2026. This venue, significant in its capacity and location, will host the emotional reunion between the 7 members and the sea of purple ocean that has waited years for this moment. The juxtaposition of Jin's personal solitude and his public omnipresence creates a poignant narrative for this comeback. As the group prepares to stand on the stage at Goyang Stadium, looking out at tens of thousands of screaming fans, the weight of Jin's alleged commitment takes on a tangible form. When he sings about love and connection in the new tracks of Erarang, listeners will likely interpret the lyrics through the lens of this new knowledge, that for Jin, the love he sings about is directed entirely toward the crowd in front of him, rather than a specific significant other waiting backstage. It is undeniable that the K-pop industry fosters a unique environment where the lines between professional service and personal ownership are blurred. The fantasy of availability is a core product of the idol machine, yet Jin seems to have internalized this not as a marketing tactic but as a moral imperative. By purportedly rejecting the duality of a public single life and a private romantic life, he is challenging the standard operating procedure of his peers. Most industry insiders accept that idols date in secret to maintain their marketability. Jin apparently rejects the secrecy because he rejects the act itself, viewing the lie as the greater sin. As March 20, 2026, approaches, the focus will inevitably shift toward the music, the choreography, and the spectacle of the Erarang era. The sheer scale of the comeback, the 79 shows, the global travel, the media blitz, will consume the news cycle. Yet, the question of Jin's personal happiness will likely linger in the minds of the fandom. The revelation has added a layer of gravity to his worldwide handsome persona. The jokes and the flying kisses, often seen as light-hearted fan service, are now being recontextualized as the expressions of a man who has chosen this relationship, the one with his fans, as the primary romantic engagement of his life. Whether one views this as a noble act of chivalry or a tragic consequence of celebrity culture, it is clear that the bond between BTS and the ARMY is unlike any other in the entertainment world. The fans are not just consumers of music, they are the designated recipients of the members' loyalty. As the countdown to the Goyang Stadium concert continues, the anticipation is fueled not just by the promise of high-energy performances, but by the deep, complex, and sometimes overwhelming emotional connection that binds the artist to the audience. Jin's declaration, as relayed by Kian84, serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of stardom and the extraordinary lengths to which some will go to honor the people who made them stars. The stage is set for 2026 to be a year of historic musical achievement, underscored by a silent, personal vow that echoes louder than any cheering crowd.